You see this Green Goblin mask? That is how my camera and microphone was looking at me and talking to me once we got the news that the channel was fully restored and it's back. Just like Harry Osborn, we got some unfinished business we need to take care of, and that is no other than getting caught up with our preview/prediction videos. And we're starting out hot with arguably the game of the weekend. We got the Tennessee Volunteers versus the Georgia Bulldogs. Goes without being said, I'm extremely excited for this matchup because number one, we got two SEC teams going at it. Number two, we're going to find out a lot about both of these teams. And number three, they're undefeated. There's a lot on the line. You could argue and say this is a playoff game. Now, let me clarify. Am I saying this is an elimination game? No, absolutely not. But you do get the feel and sense that the winner of this game is going to be sitting nice and pretty. I came to the executive decision that this game is so important, it is going to get its own separate preview. So this is the only game we're going to be talking about. If you're looking for the Alabama-Wisconsin preview or Clemson-Georgia Tech, what's our other matchups? Who else is playing? We got some other good games, don't we? Oh, yeah, South Florida-Miami. I think Texas A&M, Notre Dame, and there's one more I'm missing, Vanderbilt, South Carolina. If you're looking for any of the other ones, we're going to be doing those tomorrow. I know I'm missing some other games, but just all the important games we're going to talk about. I guess we'll talk about Florida and LSU tomorrow, but come on, man. Who in their right mind is picking this Billy Napier team against LSU? I know I'm not, so I'm going to spoil that for you right here, right now. I will talk about that game just a little bit tomorrow, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. What we're here to focus on in tonight's video is the 2-0, number 6 ranked Georgia Bulldogs versus the also 2-0, 15th ranked Tennessee Volunteers. This game is in Neyland Stadium. I'm going to guess and assume, I'm trying to pull it up real quick. Yep. Okay, Georgia is a 3.5-point favorite. I would say that's about right. A lot to look forward to, a lot to talk about. We really don't know how good Georgia is quite just yet because they haven't played anybody. So you can't tell me, oh yeah, Matt, I think Georgia's a great team, because you can't back that up with any factual claims and evidence. It's also vice versa. You can't sit up here and tell me I think Georgia's a bad team, Matt, because I don't think there's anything to back that claim up either. They're 2-0, and they haven't really struggled. They haven't looked great, but they haven't struggled. And I'm not going to critique a team too much for not winning by 50. A win's a win. However, I will say I do want to give y'all some insight and perspective of how I look at Georgia. I view them the same way I view Alabama when they had Nick Saban. I don't care how they look early on in the year. I don't care if they don't play anybody. I trust Kirby Smart as much as I trusted Saban. So I'm not exactly worried about a Kirby Smart-led team. Therefore, I'm not worried about Georgia, not even to the slightest. I know what I'm going to get. What I'm about to say next, it makes Georgia fans mad every single time I say it. I don't know why. I think it's a great compliment. Kirby Smart is Nick Saban 2.0. Identical. And guess what, my friends? It's not a coincidence. Do you know where he was the DC at before he went to Georgia? I'll give you a second. Alabama. He learned under the best, and he took all that knowledge, went to Athens, Georgia, and he started up his own dynasty. And dynasty is a strong word. Don't want to throw that around lightly. His mini dynasty. We'll leave it at that. Georgia has arguably been the best college football program the last 5 years in the sport. It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. It doesn't matter how many players they lose on defense to the NFL draft. They just keep churning them in. They keep replacing them, and they stay at the top. On the flip side of it for Tennessee, much different. Outside the past 2 to 3, 4 years, for 15 years straight there, they sucked from 2006 all the way up until, 2021, 2022, something like that. They were awful. They were irrelevant. At least now they are regularly in the conversation when we talk about the playoff and whatnot. And last year they made it. They laid an egg, and it was a big old stinker, but at least they made it. Here is my big dilemma with Tennessee. We'll state this early on in the video. I don't trust them. Even still, with them having some better seasons, there's 1 to 2, even 3 games a year. Well, they just don't look like a good football team. Let's talk about the quarterbacks, though. Joey Aguilar has been a pleasant surprise for Vol Nation. I think the fans were optimistic, but they are also cautiously optimistic, if that makes sense. They weren't expecting too much, and they didn't want to get their hopes up. Well, I think he's already exceeded expectations. I mean, he couldn't have played, or he couldn't have started the season too much better than what he has. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. I know we're only 2 games into the year, but I'd argue and say that the offense looks better with him in there than Nico Amalivia. In the offseason, I was pretty concerned with this quarterback room for Tennessee, especially if Aguilar would have went out there, started out his career with 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. Then who are you going to give the job to? Because I think after him, it's just a redshirt freshman who's the backup. But that doesn't even matter anymore. He has solidified himself as QB1, and they're rocking and rolling. They're clicking on all cylinders. Offense looks as good as ever. On the other side of it, we have a new quarterback for Georgia as well. Timmy Beck, he left. He went to Miami. There was some bad blood there, but we're not going to get into all that. They now have the prestigious, I believe he was a 5-star recruit, correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, Gunnar Stockton. And man, oh man, he's been a slight disappointment up until this point. Hasn't exactly looked great. Hasn't lived up to the hype. Because there's a lot of people trying to say that, oh yeah, well Gunnar Stockton's way better than Carson Beck. I tell you right now, I've watched them both play. Gunnar Stockton isn't even half the quarterback that Beck is right now. Beck is one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. Gunnar Stockton, he's nowhere near that conversation, and he's just meh. And I tell you this much, I don't even think Stockton's the best quarterback in this game. It's Aguilar. We'll get to all that in just a second. Let me give you the 3 keys for Georgia since they're a road team. What's going to be important for them to win this game? Number 1, you are in a hostile, I do not throw that out there lightly, I am talking about a very hostile road environment. You have got to establish a run game. You don't want to go out there, first possession, it's 3rd and 12, and Gunnar Stockton, he was like a deer in the headlights. And on the second drive, same thing. No. You got to help out your young quarterback. The last thing you want is for these Tennessee edge rushers to pin their ears back and tee off on Stockton and for him to throw the ball 40 to 45 times in this game. I'm telling you now, if he throws it for over, if he has 35-plus pass attempts, you lost this game. It's not a recipe for success. You got to be able to run the ball. Number 2, Stockton. When your run game helps you out, don't be a hero. I say it all the time, but it is so important for young quarterbacks. All of them try to go out there on their first throw, the first drive, the second drive, early in the game. They try to win it on one play or get it back in one play. Here's my advice. Even if you're down 10-0, Neyland Stadium's going to be rocking and rolling. They're going to be screaming louder than ever. There might be a mini earthquake. Just calm down. You don't got to get a 75-yard touchdown in the second quarter. You still got the entire game to play. In other terms, don't lose the game before it even gets started. If it's 2nd and 10, just throw the ball out of bounds. You don't got to force throws. You have a good defense. You are Georgia. Let me remind you, you are Georgia. And I'm sure Kirby Smart's already telling them this. What does that mean? Great question, my friend. I'll let it answer it. What is Georgia known for? Defense! My advice to Gunnar Stockton, calm down, buddy. Calm down. You may only need 17 points to walk out of here with a win. Number 3, we'll go on the defensive side of the ball. I wouldn't let Joey Aguilar get comfortable. His first couple games, he's looked comfortable, and he's looked really good. So I would heat him up in the first quarter. I'm talking about I wouldn't even let him get in a rhythm early. If you can fluster him in quarter 1, he'll be flustered the entire game. And that's good news for you. I would like to see Georgia blitz them, man up. I think their DBs are good enough to cover Tennessee's wide receivers, but no problems. They don't even need help. Maybe you got one high safety over the top on the best wide receiver. Outside of that, I think they're chilling. Kirby Smart is excellent at this. You can't sit back on your heels. You have to be the aggressor. You have to dictate what the offense does, not the other way around. You do not want to get in a chess match with Bobby Heupel, because he's good at them. Georgia's got to be the attacker. That is 3 keys for them. Let's talk about Tennessee. Number 1, Mr. Joey Aguilar, I'm talking to you. Don't be a big dummy. If you haven't been keeping up with him throughout his collegiate career, he's been a big dummy at times. He's been a walking turnover. Georgia is so good where if you turn over the ball against them 1 or 2 times, the game's already over. They are going to make you pay. Teams like Georgia, they don't need any help, Aguilar, so don't help them out. Take care of the ball. That's number 1. Number 2, 7 in the box. I don't even mind if you put 8. Make Gunnar Stockton beat you. If he goes out there and throws bombs over your head, he's 20 for 25, 450 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, you tip your cap to him. But me and you both know that's not going to happen. Make Stockton beat you. The worst way to lose this game is if Georgia has like 300 rushing yards, because at that point, they didn't even have to really try for the win. Number 3, you want to take advantage of that toxic Tennessee fan base, and I mean that in the most respectful way possible. Y'all know I love my Tennessee fans. Jump out on them early. Could you imagine what that place would look like if Tennessee on the opening drive went 12 plays, 75 yards, chewed up 6 minutes of clock, and got a touchdown? Whew. It would be a sight to see, and we'll leave it at that. It would be rough for Georgia on their next drive. Get the crowd involved early. Heck, I'd even like to see some trick plays. The worst thing that can happen is if you're the home team like Tennessee in this game, is if Georgia jumps down on you and they're getting stopped after stop after stop. At that point in time, the home crowd, they can't even get into it, so your home field advantage is no longer an advantage. What gets the crowd going? Points, going for it on 4th down, trick plays, stuff like that. Excitement. I like to see Tennessee spice it up with some trick plays, though. I am concerned about Aguilar because I don't think they're going to have, not even just a little, I don't think they're going to have any run success on that Georgia defense, and that's going to put a ton of pressure on Aguilar, and he's going to feel it. They say history tends to repeat itself. Well, if you're going off of pattern recognition, Aguilar's due to have a game with multiple turnovers. This is a tricky game to pick. It's almost a coin flip. But in matchups like this, where you got two good teams going at it, two top 15 teams in the SEC, I tend to lean more towards, usually you hear me say, the team with the better quarterback. But there's another thing I focus on. The team with the better head coach. You know where I'm going with this. Who has a better head coach? Georgia, Kirby Smart. I love to go with teams I can trust. And I can trust Georgia 10,000% because of their head coach. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about Tennessee. I don't trust them. It's just not a smart pick. And when we're up here predicting these games, we're doing our analysis, you're not going to get every pick right, but it is my job to make the best educated guess possible. I don't think it'd be smart for anybody to pick Tennessee in this game. Look at what Georgia's done every single year the past 5 or 6 years. You got to go with the Bulldogs, don't you? I know it's a new season. You got a new quarterback, but outside of me thinking they had the edge in the head coaching department, I think Georgia has the overall better team when you look at the talent. Player to look out for in this game, he's been quiet this season, Zachariah Branch. I'd like to see an upset. I think that'd be cool for the SEC, shake it up a little bit, but I got to go with the Bulldogs. Give me Georgia in this one. We'll go semi-low scoring. Bulldogs 24, the Tennessee Volunteers 14. 24-14, lock it in. We will most definitely have a reaction video for this on Saturday. I'll see y'all then. Let me know your thoughts on all this down below.